Good morning, everyone. Welcome to On the Couch, where you get vital content to the African American and other brown communities, where we share vital content to you. I'm Dr. Diamond. You will be seeing Miss Rajanta and Miss Michelle shortly. What a beautiful day it is today. Finally, we get into that point where it is no more rain, hopefully, maybe for this week. But we do have had some things that's already been going on, which was the earthquake, which was 4.8 on the Richter scale. So I'm definitely going to bring my girls in so we can talk about that and some other content before we get to understanding and overcoming personal biases. What is that? What are biases? What does that mean? Why are we talking about it today? And why should we talk about it? Well, I think as we talk to our community at large, we would like to give you the information that you need so you understand what are biases and do I have them? And if I do, what do I do with them? But before we do that, let me bring my girls in. Rajanta and Miss Michelle, how are you two doing this morning? It is 11 a.m.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How is life with you two ladies? How's things going on? What's new?
Nothing new.
Happy 4th of July Day. It looks so sunny and nice outside.
Yes.
I haven't seen the sun like all week, and I was not happy.
I wasn't happy either.
Yeah, I don't like wearing
very
socks.
Depressing. It's very depressing.
It was
too much rain. I don't know about you girls, but I got a little tired of wearing I have my boots and rain boots. I said I'm sick of this. You know, we got to do better.
Outside. I didn't go outside. Okay. Let me tell y'all a funny story. My job is having this Habitat for Humanity. So they sent it to everybody and asked them to, sign up. And I went on the site and I was like, oh, I'm going to sign up. And then I started looking at the questions about being outside. I closed the site down. My manager called me. She was like, did you sign up? No, ma'am. Everybody got a lane and that's not mine.
Is it the rain?
What? It's the outside.
It's the outside?
It's the outside. I don't like outside. Yeah, I don't like
outside. She don't like outside.
I don't like outside.
Yeah, she's not hanging out there. She's not going outside.
And it's going to be probably a little bit warm. Is that me?
So what?
Oh, I thought it was lagging. Yeah, I don't do outside.
Oh, no.
So I couldn't participate. I told him I'll hold the team down at work.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
that's my excitement. That's my no.
At least you know your limitations.
Yeah, right? No, I'll stay at work.
Outside, you've been uncomfortable.
I do.
And not wanting to be there. So
I would be sitting in my car. I would be sitting in my car, and they would say she's not participating. No, she's not.
So
if it was inside, yeah. What were you gonna say?
Well, the question I have for you, just out of curiosity, you know the Willingboro Jazz Fest. You never go to those?
Okay, so when I go and then I leave. I don't go and stay because we outside. Like my mom, and then they got a tent. So I might go to her tent and have some lunch. Right. See like the performers that I want to see, and then
and you're out of there. Okay. You know, I just wanted to confirm because
and my mom my mom got a backyard with an in-ground pool. And it irritates me so bad that she be wanting to put food in her enclosed porch. What are we doing that for? But we got a whole house inside. No. I don't care. People gonna open this. What? Yes, definitely, girl.
I don't like the bugs either.
Yeah,
I don't like bugs either. I can't.
But it's enclosed, and she be like, Michelle, the food's going. Okay, well, I'll get my plate. And I'll eat inside. I don't eat outside with everybody else. I'm not doing it. I sit right in the kitchen and eat. Yeah, I don't eat outside. But I think I know why. Because when I was little, I'm the first grandchild. And my grandmother used to babysit. And she would make all the kids go outside. But I didn't go outside. Because my grandmother used to be like, there's dew on the grass. So they had to stay on the concrete.
Okay.
I'm not even going outside. So I didn't go outside as a young child either. It was just, it's dirty out there. I didn't want to get dirty. So it was just something I just never,
so
I was never forced to do. Yeah.
Gotcha. So because of that reason, that's why you're easy. For you, it's easy to stay in the house. You good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, that is so funny, but I don't like bugs either. I'm just like you. I do not like them. I can't stand them. I don't want them in my way, but what can we do? I personally, I enjoy summertime. That's my favorite season, and I can't be in the house the whole time, but I cannot stand the bugs. I can't stand the mosquitoes. I can't stand ants because you can't eat because ants are gonna come. You know how they are. The bugs is just ridiculous. But April showers bring May flowers.
Yes.
And that's what I'm looking forward to because summer is on the way, having the fun get-togethers too, and just enjoying and traveling and stuff like that. That's what I'm looking forward to for the summer. But but other than that,
I'm for warm weather, but not too warm, but nice warm weather. I like outside. I don't like the bugs, but it kind of makes me feel like alive.
Yes, it does. It does. I think winter, although we know we can't control the seasons, but winter can bring you into a state of depression.
Yes,
it can.
As we all know that depression is real, and seasonal depression is real. Most people are happier, livelier. Even those that suffer from depression tend to become a little bit more livelier when summer come because of the vitamin D. Yes, it is. Definitely. So 4.8, ladies, on the Richter scale. Did you all, where were you when the New Jersey was shaking?
I work in the psych ward. So I was waiting for people to walk around screaming and hollering.
Right.
Bracing myself for the madness. But it didn't. I had a headache afterwards. I don't know what, I was just so stressed out because I didn't know what was going on. Like I thought maybe the building was gonna come down, even though the building I work in is a 1-level building. But I'm like, okay, like the faults and like the strain that it puts on I was very anxious. I was anxious.
Yes. Okay, Shell, what about you? When
I was
you
standing in the kitchen and I felt it shake, and I was like, oh, that's a big truck coming through. So I went and looked out the window. So I said, well, maybe because I don't move fast enough, I didn't see the truck go past till I see my neighbor outside, and my son came in and was like, we had an earthquake. I'm like, boy, be quiet. We did not. Turn the news on and let me see. And it was.
It was. So I was
but
at
they
work.
felt it yesterday too.
Yes, the aftermath. And you will. So for me, I was at work cleaning my office. I felt some shaking going on. I said, oh, okay, I don't know what's going on here, but I guess that's an earthquake. I kept cleaning my office like nothing was happening.
Wow.
They walked past. The officer says, oh, okay, they told us what the code was, and then they went from there. I said, okay, it was an earthquake. All right, I'm still doing whatever. Like, what am I going
to come down?
Huh?
I watch too much TV. You didn't think the building was going to come down and the ground was going to open up?
Actually, no. But then I said, I had made a comment and people were cracking up when we were on our way out. I said, well, it might be an improvement if this do shake down. So
it might be.
You ain't right. You ain't right.
But and the one guy, he laughed so hard he was holding his stomach. He said, you crazy. I said, yes, I know. You don't have to tell me, I know. But yeah, I was just making a comment. But listen, the world was shaking, you all. I mean, really. It's just this world. It's something else. I'm a nerd too. So I was talking to John last night, my husband, on the way home. I said, the core and the plates underneath the earth is what makes it shake like that. I know he probably was like, why would this girl know this? It's because I was like,
yeah.
I love it. I love it. It's like the core of the earth heats up. So then you have all of these plates moving. So that's where the shaking is coming from. And the whole earth it moves. So it's crazy. But then we got this eclipse coming.
Yes.
What do y'all think?
I blamed everything on eclipse. I'm like, maybe it's the eclipse. Maybe it's eclipse. Maybe it's eclipse. Just all of the mishaps. That's what's going on in my head.
Yes. Right. Exactly. But you listen, it's not we can do. Yeah. This Earth orbits and it moves very slowly. We don't even know it's moving, but it's moving. And then we have the moon around us, the sun around us. So it is just amazing that we even have all of these other planets around us. But the only thing is, we don't even know if anything can truly live on these planets. But anything that's closer to the sun, we know supposedly can't live out there, but we're going off of what man is telling us. We don't know that for a fact. You know what I mean? We don't know that. So it's just what they state that we can and cannot do. Because I still have question about folks going to the moon. I don't know. I'm still a little iffy about that.
That's still on the
but
table.
That's just my opinion. Yeah, that's still on the table for me. It really is. But moving right along, we are going to talk about understanding and overcoming personal biases. Mm-hmm. This particular topic is important, I think, because we do need to know that we have biases, but we need to understand why we have them. Yes. And in the world, why the world tend to have biases for different cultures and different people, and just having that overall discussion, because in the end, we live in this world that's not colorblind, okay, and also opinionated. We're opinionated, so we're going to have our personal thoughts. So before we get into the discussion, I am going to really quickly define biases, so there's a clear understanding of it, and then you and I and Shell, we will have our discussion about it also, and add our input to it as well. Biases. Okay, here is the definition. Biases is allowing your personal opinion to influence your judgment, causing you to support or oppose a person, idea, or thing in a way often considered to be unfair. Mm-hmm. People tend to be biased towards things that prove they are right. We lean towards making decisions based on feelings and will often collect information to confirm our existing belief, support, or make us look good, and affirm our judgments and virtues. So this is what biases is what we believe we stand on, and we tend to have, we should have, I would say, facts to support us. Or even if we are correct, we'll say, see, I was right. I knew I was right, things like that. So what would the two of you say, or how would you define biases?
I mean, I guess I would say along those same lines, but just know there's so many different biases. Gender biases, weight bias, beauty bias, everybody's opinions are different, and they're based off of our views with our family values, mother's values, or even our experiences, and our biases are sometimes change over time. Sometimes for the good, sometimes for the bad. And as we get older and experience different things, we also develop new biases as well.
Shell, what about you? What would you say? What would you add on to this, or would you agree with the definition? If she's there. I think she walked away for a second. Okay, well, we'll continue. Let's talk about, you brought up a couple of biases. Let's talk about one here, beauty biases. And I say beauty biases because for some reason, society has their standard of beauty. So let's even talk about that. What is society's standard of beauty? You think, Rajanta?
Well, I think it's changed. I think it's definitely changing. And I'm not sure why and who influences these different changes. Because I remember earlier on, even within the community, people of color, certain complexions were more, I guess, accepted, more valued. As time went on, then other complexions got to be just as valued, or even more as. Even with beauty, then was really, really popular. Right now, voluptuous is kind of getting way more popular, even to the point where, people are getting surgeries just to kind of be voluptuous.
Yes.
So it changes. So, but I'm wondering what people are going to do once it changes back to thin. Like, what you going to do with all that's going on, all the surgery and everything that's, you had to kind of make you this way. So I think that views towards beauty, it changes. And it's also in the eyes of the beholder as well.
Yeah. I agree. What will happen when it changes back? Because this world is very what we say, fickle, right? They go one way, then another way, then there's another way. Then, because what did they used to say back in the day when we were little kids? Light skin is back in, dark skin brothers is back in. You're like, what? Like, where does that come from? But this is what they would say. But I picked that standard of beauty for biases is because you're right. There are the way people view, and I say really society as a whole, because there was a particular standard that people would follow, which is you would have to be below an 8 to be, I guess, considered beautiful in weight wise. But you said, I agree, it is now the opposite way. However, I'm concerned because of these standards, we have women changing their bodies, and it's not a healthy thing to do. And that to me becomes a bias as well on the other side, so it's very
the fact where they are getting injections in the alleyways, silicone, and they are dying, behind this beauty thing. So it's definitely an issue.
Definitely an issue. And it's scary again because people are putting their life on the line for beauty standards. So these biases that we're talking about is almost how we live in the world. Not almost, but we do. So certain biases we agree with, we could also consider to be unfair. We could just talk about personal biases with people of color in general. There are straight biases that are unfair. Just talking about the mortality rate of Black mothers when they go in to have babies. There is a bias there that is very obvious. The obvious bias is that Black women can deal with pain. So because of that reason, they don't get the same type of care. So then we have a lot of people dying. Or just overall, when you go to the doctors, as a Black person or a woman of color, period, we seem to have to make the medical professional believe that we don't feel well. We should never have to do that. It's a bias, though, that's causing that to happen. Do y'all agree or disagree?
Yeah, these are actually things, especially in the medical community, that are passed down through different stereotypes that are learned along the way. They're definitely passed down between generations. Even the values that we develop, the beliefs that we develop in the household. It's crazy. It's crazy that this stuff is still happening and that people are just really not wanting to broaden their horizons and be open-minded about things, just even as simple as effective care.
Simple as that, effective care. So when you look at biases, all three of us are Black women, how do you think it affects us, biases? Does it affect us?
Yeah. I know even just Medicaid, different insurances, being a provider, I see that there's certain levels of care that certain people can get based off of their health insurance, right?
Yes.
So if you have health insurance where the lower insurance, maybe like a Medicaid or a Medicare, you wouldn't be as privy to these specialists and different other doctors that someone would be able to have with the commercial insurance. You won't be able to get as much care. You have, shorter sessions. I never forget working in a hospital years ago in my first job. And I remember the lady I worked with to schedule all the people with Medicaid at the same time. Whereas people who had commercial insurance, she would give them enough time. She would schedule them in hour intervals. And even the different types of splints and things that she made them, it was like the lower level stuff because, you know what? I'm not going to say that I understand, but I understand because the reimbursement rates are not as high as someone with insurance. Whereas maybe a physician may get paid $100 or $200 an hour for that same patient, for those same services. If there's a Medicaid or Medicare patient, they may only get half of that.
Yeah, because they do that when you call and make an appointment. What insurance do you have? And you say Blue Cross. Oh, is that state insurance? No, ma'am, it's not. But why does it matter? What if it was? What if it was?
Yes.
That bothers me so bad.
Yes.
When they ask that. Is it state insurance? And what if it was?
Right.
What if it was? Does it matter? Or what changes things if I do?
But I think it does matter. I think they put us in different categories.
Yes.
When we're bringing up healthcare, I would say when I have taken my granddaughter to the doctors, I can see the differences too. Community clinics versus private offices. You see that there are an enormous amount of people. If you are a person that have Medicare or Medicaid, if you have Medicaid, chances are you're going to that community clinic where everyone is in there. It takes you hours to get to a doctor because they don't care. It's almost like, oh, these are the people at the bottom of the barrel, but that's not true. There are some people that still have good jobs, or maybe now they're retired and they think that they go for the state insurance because it's cheaper. Because if you think about it, that COBRA and all those other type of insurances, when you're on your own, is way too expensive. So yes, I'm going to go on there to the marketplace if I'm a person that's retired, and I'm going to go ahead and get my health care if I can't get it through my job after retirement. But that bias is what puts everybody in one, pigeon everybody in a hole together. And then you look at the differences. So if I have Blue Cross Blue Shield, but mine is privately from the state of New Jersey, right? I can go to my private doctor because it's not Medicaid. So I'm gonna have a quality care. I'm gonna have all of this, and I get all of that. However, I do see it as some kind of tick. If I'm asking you a question, Shell, and I'm saying, well, what kind of insurance do you have? Do you have Medicaid, or do you have the Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield through your employment? You say employment, I'm going to say, oh, good, she can go to a private doctor.
Wow,
it's not fair.
It's not.
But and like then you get different levels of care.
Yes, yes. I would say money plays a big part in that. Even with the government services, like, why wouldn't you want to kind of reimburse this person, and allow them to get the utmost care? Why wouldn't you want to be that way? So a lot of people are not getting care now because nobody takes the insurance, because nobody wants to deal with the red tape. And people do. I mean, you work a job, you do want to get paid for your services.
Yes. Absolutely. You want to get paid for your services, and I get it, because we don't know what happens behind the closed doors between medical services, mental health services, and the Medicaid. We don't know. However, a lot of people shy away from it. They don't want to be bothered because the people are not getting or they're not getting paid. But guess who suffers in the end? The patient.
Yeah. It's very true. And it's really, really sad, because I'm actually dealing with that now, with trying to, get credentials to take Medicaid, but it's so complicated. Like, it's like it's like sitting in the welfare line all day. It's like they want you to sit there all day so you can be frustrated and turn around, whereas, like, come on, it's very frustrating. But once you get to the end of the line, right now it's frustrating, and it makes you not even want to deal with it.
Right. And it's a bit much. It's a bit much to deal with. You're right. It's very frustrating. But then this is the world we live in.
Yeah. It's
biases.
Sad. It's sad.
It's very sad. It's a very sad thing. And we are constantly going to deal with it. I don't think it'll ever go away, because as human beings, we are going to have bias. But it does affect people on many different levels. So that's what makes it, really hard and difficult for people to even be secure within themselves, because they're thinking about what bias does this person have against me.
Yes.
Right. So let's look at some other things. Here's a question here. How might bias affect the way you view those who are different from you? Think about that question. How might biases affect the way you view those who are different from you?
I think we learn different things about different people and different cultures early on. So seeds are kind of planted in us early, from maybe our parents and, the people who raise us, people we're around, even in school. But it's like as we get older, we experience these things for ourselves. We experience people for ourselves. And then we realize, okay, well, maybe that wasn't the correct information that I was given. This person is okay. These maybe are just stereotypes that I had to kind of fight through and navigate through. But these, we're all human at the end of the day. And as you kind of get older and grow and experience different people, you realize, well, wow, we're just all human. At the end of the day, we all bleed the same. We all bleed the same.
Yeah. We are all human, and I think people forget that, but we would have to take it all the way back though. So if we take it back to 1619, when those 20 Africans came here, those biases was actually even before they came over, because we got to think about when these other countries, these European countries, were going and invading in Africa itself, the whole continent. So these biases came around as well as the Native American. They were put in categories because of the differences, the skin tone, how they carried themselves. They were automatically called savages because they did not have all this clothes on. Well, you're in Europe, so you would be cold in comparison to where they are. So if they're in a place where it's constantly hot, why am I going to wear all these layers of clothes? And first of all, you come automatically with a bias. So it was such it's so early on, these biases. You can even take it back to the Bible too, because you have Miriam. Is it Miriam and Moses? Moses' wife was Miriam. So Miriam was a Black woman. She was Ethiopian. So I don't know how everybody else looked, but she was judged for being Black. So you take it that far back, like that's pretty far back, that you can have these biases. But I wonder why, well, you ladies can of course, I want your opinion about this, but when you think about Black people in general, why are we the ones always that it's a bias against us? Why do y'all think that?
I think it goes back. It goes back to the 1619, and then on when we came here, when we were slaves. So it goes back then. And I think things are passed down from generation to generation. Us not being seen as human and not being seen as good enough, being, known as ignorant and lazy and all these things. I think these things are really passed down. And stereotypes. They created stereotypes for us, unjust stereotypes at that.
So would you say biases and stereotypes are married? You think so?
I would think so. Unfortunately, I would think so.
Because biases and the stereotypes are created out of the biases, I believe. So these personal biases come with these stereotypes. And you all, you said it when you said we're considered to be lazy. Where does that come from? Because that slave didn't want to pick up that bucket when you told them to. Or the fact of the matter is they're out working 12 to 16 hours or sun up to sundown, but they're still lazy because you come in with a whip and whipping them and not realizing that they're working under 100-degree weather. I don't understand how you can be this person that says all Black people are lazy, because that's how we're seen. And do you realize the people in these other countries believe that as well about Black people, that we're very lazy?
Yes.
And I'm talking about other Black countries. Yeah. They believe it.
And I was shocked to really have these conversations with these other ethnicities. I was very shocked about the stereotypes that they have, even the prejudices that they have against us. But I mean, all you hear, you don't get to see it, then okay, you're going to have this bias until you learn otherwise.
Exactly. Exactly. Let's delve into that then. Let's explore that a little bit more and discuss that feeling of being there's a bias between other countries that look like us. You all are different shades like us. However, you're going off of these different stereotypes that TV is providing to you. And then you come to America and you insult us. I know for a fact that I've been treated very differently by a lot of different people that are from different countries, Caribbean countries, as well as African countries. It's like, how do you come to America and you insult the Black people that's living here? I don't understand that.
They feel they got this sort of entitlement.
Yes.
And that you're beneath them.
Yes.
I mean, I do know also that they kind of treat race differently in those other countries. So you know how we learn about African American history here, and you know this United States was built by us. They don't have that over there, so they didn't deal with those type of racist things that we dealt with. So our views are very different. You know, I actually was an Uber driver. I had this conversation, and he was just saying the views are different. They said, well, we have more setbacks. We definitely have more setbacks than they would have had, you know, in those other nations and those Caribbean countries because of the Jim Crow laws, because of slavery. So we were already set back. So we kind of never really got a head start, or even like a handout or a hand up to really kind of, you know, move full throttle.
Well, you know, I have to argue that, you know, I hear that statement that person is making, but from especially Africa, when you go to Africa, in each different country that was closest to the coast, all of them have those where you don't return. So those exits where the slaves exit and they not to return. Where do you think these people went? And why wasn't this discussed further to understand if you ever go to America, try to embrace these people who were taken from you. Instead, it became the total opposite. So I have to argue that you don't have the knowledge. It just because it wasn't really taught to you, but it doesn't mean you can't pick up a book and read and find out what really happened, because these people of no return, they're not returning. These were your people from your villages, your ethnic groups that was taken, and they came to America. Now we are now from their lineage, some of them that were here, because there were some Africans that were here. There were already Black people that were living here prior to Africans coming here as well, which were considered to be the Native Americans. So why stop there? So to me, it should be more either conversation or more reading going on, because you come with a bias, like we jumped on a ship and say, bring us over here. No one said that. These people are from you. So I have to argue that there's no more further studying going on. I feel like it's the entitlement, like Shell talked about. Well, we're better than these people anyway. Well, how? What makes you better? I need to understand that. But I get sometimes I feel that some of the women, some African women, are very cold to us too, because I've experienced that a lot. Very cold, don't want to speak, look at you up and down like you did something personal to them. I don't like that feeling. I really don't.
I mean, I get, you know, I think that might be a woman thing. I think that's an African American woman thing too. Like looking you up and down, like you were with their husband last night. Like I wasn't with that last night.
Exactly. You're right. You're right. I hear your argument there. We on both sides, we have to say that is what we experience, but I don't think it's fair that we have to experience it, those from African countries and also from the Caribbean, because I've had friends that told me that.
You know, the culture is very, very different in those places than here.
Yes.
So they may look at, you know, them and come here and like kind of look down at us like, oh, how, you know, how, you know, why are they living like this? You know, the culture is very different in those other places. And I mean, I really attribute that to, you know, us and, you know, our plight and what we went through, you know, this whole slavery thing. You know, we broke up, families were broken up, whereas their families, you know, they believe in family in those other places. Our families were broken up, You know, there's a lot of things that impeded on us kind of being successful and just being further. I mean, yeah, we should be further ahead, but you know, we're getting there.
We are getting there. So I do think, though, these other countries need to work on their biases, and maybe we need to work on whatever biases we have with them, if we have them. And any bias that does come about, I think is cause and effect. If you treated a certain way, then I may treat you the same exact way, because that's what you're putting out in the universe. So you're going to be treated the same way you're treating me. So I hate to say that we are at that point, but we're reduced down to that, and we shouldn't have to be. And once again, I just feel like African Americans, we are always the target for everybody. It doesn't matter. All of these biases against us. Like, give us a break.
Yeah, I mean, because you even hear with the English, the actors that are coming from over in England, you know, now, you know, they're coming over and, you know, all the roles, they're getting all the roles, and, you know, so now you kind of even get it from that side too. So I definitely, we can't catch a break.
Yes, it is so true. I mean, it's funny because we can't catch a break, and we always have these things, people against us, all these biases, these stereotypes. It's like, please, we're sinking under the water. We got our hand up, but you refuse to pull us up because you have these biases.
I think that,
go ahead, Michelle.
Like, and I don't know if this is even on the topic, but when you say that they stereotype us, what about the whole Diddy situation?
Woo!
Like that, everybody is talking about Diddy.
Yes.
But nobody is talking about the Disney man.
Yes.
Why is that not circulating like Diddy? And we have seen younger people come out to say that this man from Disney has done things to them, but it's not. And I can only speak for our people, because that's mainly what I have on like social media, and we're circulating it, but we're not circulating the Disney guy. We run around here talking about what Diddy did, and I hate social media, because how do you even know that everything that people are posting is true?
Exactly.
Like,
true.
You can post something today and it can go viral. But nobody is talking about that other man and what he did. But
why do you think that is? Because even that Epstein, all those things are really swept under the rug.
Yes, I do have a person that posted about Diddy, and she don't look like us, but her friends thought it was funny. So I went on there, and I don't usually post on people's stuff because that's your stuff. But so y'all think that's funny? What about your Disney man? And I reposted it on their thing. Oh, now we got crickets. It's okay, and it's funny when we talk about Diddy, but when your people do it, y'all don't have nothing to say.
But it's always like that. It's let's even take it to another argument. The whole Cleopatra thing, okay? The Cleopatra on Netflix, you know that Jada Pinkett Smith, she's one of those people that executively produces these films. Okay, so when they also had Amina, and they also did Nzinga. Now, we talking about 3 different queens they did. The problem that they had was the one with Cleopatra, because Cleopatra was Greek and she doesn't look like that, and so on and so forth. And then you have all these white folks jumping in. We don't know our history. We need to get it together. Some black folks was on there really trying to defend and say, well, you have to go back in that time. And during that time, she may have looked more like the woman that she's portraying. And truth be told, that's what they're saying, that Greeks were not only just the look of white folks, Greeks were black also. And we got to think about Moors went everywhere. The Moors, they discovered really the whole world. So when we think about the Moors, a lot of us are probably Moors and we don't even know it, you know, like descendant wise, because they were everywhere. They went everywhere. They conquered Spain. Okay, they conquered Spain. They ruled Spain, all of that. So still, it was just this bias that you black people always trying to take something. I mean, I was reading this on Facebook. I just couldn't believe it. I'm sitting here going,
what we gonna take?
Listen, I've never seen such a thing. White folks coming at us. It was to the point that one guy said, well, next week I'm going to be, who did he say? Kuta Kente, something like that. I went in on it. I said, I'm sorry, sir. Usually I'm quiet on these, but I'm going to have to say something to you in your ignorance. And I went in on his ignorance because what you're doing is offensive. And a lot of the times, I don't think white folks don't see how offensive they can be. It can be very offensive and they think it's a joke. I also think those of a lighter hue think what they say is also funny. It is not what you're saying is not funny. It is very biased, very prejudiced, what you say, and you got to be careful whom you're talking to. Yeah. So these social media, like you said, Shell, I agree with you. Diddy is a messed up individual, but I think we all knew that. But like R. Kelly, we swept stuff under the rug. Yep. But yes, on the flip side, you do have all of these other people that are doing these things they're not supposed to be doing, like, i.e. assaults. Okay. You know, they shouldn't be doing this. And then when it's out there, then it's, how do we cover this up? Why do we not we talking about Walt Disney, where the children go?
Yeah.
Come on, you guys. This is the stuff we should be talking about.
Now, isn't that this stuff has been going on all this time? But now it's like it's normalized, but now everybody's kind of seeing because we have social media videos.
I think it's social media. I think that it's been going on. They were able to sweep it under the rug.
Yes.
They paid people off. They didn't have to talk about it. Now that social media told you can say whatever you want to whoever you want, how you want. We're going to put it out there, and people are putting it out there.
Yeah. And they are putting it out there. People, all kind of businesses out there. But like you, Shell, I don't know what to believe and what not to believe. I don't know. I don't know who's credible, who's not. But you can tell the ones that are gossiping versus the one that's providing us vital content. Okay. But why do I consider what Diddy's going through a vital content? I wonder why. Well, it affects the Black community. That's why. So now I'm going to look deeper into that. However, Disney also affects the Black community. Why? Because our Black children go there.
Now, was it Disney or was it Nickelodeon? Because I saw something about Nickelodeon too on HBO.
Oh, you did?
I don't know. It's one of them. It was a person that didn't look like us. That's what I know.
Ooh, okay, so what happened on Nickelodeon? If you could give me a little synopsis.
Being groomed and molested like the ones from those shows back in the day. So like they're coming now, and you know how I guess those celebrities, how they all kind of had nervous breakdowns and all those other things, and they were saying it was attributed to those types of things that they experienced while they were working.
Wow. Again, hush hush.
Just like the church, but just like the priest at the church, like
the church. Yep. Yes. And right now we're not being biased. What we're doing is speaking facts now, right? But when we talk about these facts, we have to think about, okay, when we word this, how are we wording it? Because we don't want to appear biased. We want to appear unbiased. Right, so we're in a crossroads when we are trying to explain something. I'm gonna go over here to the comment section. Mark Lamont Hill gives facts and unbiased thoughts on the situation. He's great. Yes, he is great. Mark Lamont Hill, he is really great when he's doing commentary. I do agree with that because I do watch a lot of his stuff on YouTube, as well as, like I said, Roland Martin as well, and some others that I think that are vital to our community because they actually give real facts, or when they're interviewing people, they just don't give them a pass. They actually go in and not on purpose to hurt the person. They want facts. They're asking more questions to delve into why you may do the things that you are doing. Where does this behavior come from? Now, I haven't had an opportunity to watch some things, some other things that I've been noticing on YouTube about African American, well, Africans versus African American. That in itself is definitely a biased conversation, because it's something there that this is now a conversation, or is this entertainment? So I'm a little leery about that. How do I go about approaching that? And do I want to go there? Will that anger me? Going to that place to hear this stuff, you know what I mean? Because I even think just listening to Disney or these things that they're grooming these children, we want to think about some of our children may have dreams that they want to be a part of showbiz, but as grandparents and parents, do we want this to happen to our children?
Yes.
What do you ladies think?
You know what? Now the showbiz thing's out the window. Everybody's going viral. Everybody has a YouTube channel. So that's like the new wave of entertainment, and how just to get put on. I mean, I guess they are they canceling TikTok or no? I don't know.
I think they're still working on it on Capitol Hill. I think they're really leaning towards getting rid of it.
Because there are people who kind of got famous who make their income off of that. Young kids as well. Yeah. So, I mean,
I love TikTok.
You do? You know how to TikTok?
I don't know how to TikTok, but I could search on TikTok. I could watch on TikTok.
Really?
I love TikTok. I love it.
I'm trying to learn.
I think it has recipes, it has decorating, it just has hair, it has so many other things than people just gossiping on social media.
Gotcha.
Okay, so TikTok is also a good segue into biases. Do you think there's a bias against TikTok because it's Asian created?
I never thought about that. Do you think that's what all the hoopla is about?
I do think it's that. I really do. I really think it's because there are Asians behind TikTok, and not everything on TikTok is negative from what I'm hearing. And even being on TikTok myself, just watching it, there is some vital stuff on there. There are things on there that I've, picked up because I love crafting and putting things together, and also decorating my house too. So you get a chance to see what other people are doing. So there are vital things on there, but I believe on the back end of it, there are biases that's there. So when you listen to the people on Capitol Hill talking, these senators talking, they don't have factual things of why they want to get rid of TikTok. I also think that they don't have any concrete facts on Roe versus Wade too. They don't have that. It's something about that. I think it's more or less like we fear that other people that don't look like us will be taking over the world. That's
what it is. Exactly. Exactly.
I'm just speaking the truth here. Y'all know on this platform, we tell it like it is. In the back end, that's what this is about. That's shift the power. Fear that our power is going to be taken away because it's going to be more people that look like us and less people that look like them. Listen, the world is the way it is. Please just bond with us. Go on. Stop treating us like we are nobodies. Just stop it. These biases is really hurting us. There's a lot of lives gone because of biases. I feel sometimes when we go to different jobs, there are biases before we get to the job. Depending on your name. Do you think we are biased against people's names? Even black, white, all Asians, all of us alike are biased against people's personal names. Yes, we are.
Yeah, so much so that people come to this country and actually change their name.
Yes.
They get an American name. And so you're like, okay, what was your name when you were in your country? They say a whole nother name. So for them to come here and feel as though they have to assimilate in that way, it's like, what does that say about us?
Bias. That's why there are biases there. That's why a person has to do that. They have to change their names, change who they are to fit in, because they don't want to fit that stereotype, right? But that's what we're doing because we want to accommodate or make those that have biases against us feel better. So what are we doing to ourselves when we do that? What do you think we're doing?
Yeah. definitely diminishing us, diminishing our light. And when I was younger, I'm like, oh, when I get older, I'm gonna change my name. No, it makes me who I am. And I don't even give people nicknames, especially in the workplace. Say, oh, what's your nickname? I'm like, I don't have one. I love it now. I don't have one. This is who I am.
I'm gonna shut that down real quick. I don't have one. And don't ask me.
Rajanta. Okay.
And if you can't say it, I'll break it down into syllables for you. Okay. Oh my God.
I have a ball with it now. Oh, what does it mean? I make up all types of stuff. Warrior princess, beautiful flower. Whatever I feel that day, that's what I'm saying my name means.
Oh my goodness. I'm laughing though because what you're so right. Why change our name because someone else is uncomfortable?
Yeah. Yes.
We shouldn't have to do that. I mean, I have a basic name. My name is April. So y'all know my name is very basic. It's easy for some people.
A keychain name.
Yes. That I have a keychain name. You're right. Yeah. But then my middle name is Monique. A lot of people have Monique as the name, but that's also another keychain name. So when you think about it, I have a safe name in comparison to my brother's name. Now my brother's name is Karshim.
Okay.
Right. Which means African warrior. So I went back to my aunt and I said, hold on, wait a minute. I need to understand how he get an African name and I get April. What's happening here?
Is he older than you or younger than you?
He's younger. He's younger than me. So I thought that wasn't right. So she explained how I got my name and she explained how my brother got his name. I said, but that's not cool. That again, he's an African warrior and I'm not.
You're April.
April
That's what she said. She said, you're April. That's how it goes. Your other aunt named you. It's nothing I can do. I said, fine. And I just let it go. But Rajanta, I love your responses. Today, I'm going to be Moonbeam. Okay? What you said, Rajanta be Moonbeam. I love it. I love it. And this is how you take ownership of you. I also think it stops biases too, because even if that person does have it, they will probably back off at that point or get to know you more to understand that your name doesn't define you. It is your name. You're creating something about your name, which is a reputation.
I had to grow into it. Like it took years to grow into it.
Yes.
Years. So
yes. See, nobody thinks about that at all. Like the person that has the name and how you have to grow into the name yourself.
I haven't grown into my last name.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
How come?
47 years later, still like somebody needs to take this name. Somebody needs to just take this name, please.
It's something about it. What is it about the name that makes you think I'm taking it?
It puts me in a category with why I have the name. Why did you give me this name?
Mm-hmm.
Why
and when you ask
what?
When you ask that question, what's your answer?
They weren't like that when I met them.
Oh,
met them. Yeah.
That's always a story.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Of course it is. So before we get closer, because we're getting closer to the end, but I am enjoying this conversation. So do any of us have biases ourselves? And if you do, what have you done to reduce the bias that you have?
I have so many. A lot. Some biases I've developed over time, some biases that I had, and I realized that they don't serve me, like they were not true, you know, based on different experiences and just how I've navigated through life in my experiences, you know, because sometimes you never know what it is until you kind of get caught up in that same situation. And you're like, okay, well, now I know why this happened or this person did what they did. You know, this whole stereotype of, you know, Black people not knowing how to swim. That's me.
Yeah.
So, but I think people already have that bias. Like people already think that we don't know how to swim. So every year I said, I'm going to get you can't swim either, Shell?
No, girl. No. Don't even put my face under the water. Don't even do it.
I don't even want my face under the water. I can't breathe. I'm going to die. I can't do it. So I'm like, maybe this year, maybe I'll get my hair braided and I will kind of, so I won't be a part of that stereotype. So I won't be, a part of that bias of Black people not knowing how to swim. But I find out like a lot of older Black women don't know how to swim.
Aren't you interested in learning either?
That's on my bucket list. Know how to swim, knit, and getting a Tiffany necklace. That is like 3 top things.
That's a nice bucket list.
If you went on TikTok is showing you how. Seriously, they have these not even a blanket. This girl I know went on TikTok and seen how to knit without the tools,
the needles, the needles, the crochet needles.
Pants. She's made a purse. She makes sweaters, and it's just like intertwining the I guess whatever material yarn that she's using. But the stuff is really nice. I'm gonna send y'all one of her videos.
Wow.
When you
that'd be nice.
And when I asked her, how did you do this? She was like, I got it off TikTok.
See?
I was like,
and that's why TikTok is so vital, because it does teach people some things that you want to do. Listen, we all have capabilities of learning different things within one of our interests. Each one of us have 3 different interests right here on this platform. So to go on TikTok, I can go feed my interests and say, oh, you know what? Since I'm a crafter, I like to delve into everything. So I'll go look and say, all right, I'm going to try that. Or maybe I'll try that. See how it works out. But so these positive things. So what I'm wondering again is about, why does everything have to be considered to be so negative when it gets to Capitol Hill? Right. That's what I want to know.
Because what's the benefit to them? What's the benefit to those folks that's sitting on Capitol Hill? Because they didn't come up with it. They're not being paid from it. And we can't have it because it wasn't their thing. Just like anything else, the healthcare. They have healthcare, so why do they care if we don't have?
They have great healthcare.
We don't have healthcare, and so Obama said we're gonna have some healthcare.
Yeah,
they didn't want healthcare for us. We shouldn't have it because it didn't benefit them.
It's crazy.
It's just awful, and I wish that things were just so different for us, people of color. That would be African American, Hispanics, Chicanos, Chicanas, all of us that have some brown, Asians, we're all in that melting pot. All of us are. But what I find is that those that want to be in the get along gang, I'm talking about those from our community, get to these senators' seats and they forget about the little people that it actually put them there. And all of a sudden, they agree with these same biases that these people have for us. You're sitting on Capitol Hill because the little people put you there. Right. But yet you are still taking these same biases and digging a knife in our backs. And I think it's unfair. You do have some people on that hill that do speak up for us. They do. They speak. They go at it with them, because I watch that too, the debates, and sometimes Roland Martin have them on, and he agrees with some of them too. And he's like, yes, this is how you have to defend our community with them, just as they had biases about HBCUs. Did you attend one? No, you didn't, sir. So how do you have all of this information about a school you never attend? There's no way you attended all these HBCUs and have the nerve to call them trash. How is that possible? You didn't attend them to say that. So we could say, okay, well, all the PWIs are all trash. They will be offended by that.
Yes.
Yep.
So, the offense and the things that they say, but in the end, we'll bring this all in, that biases, everyone, can be fair, unfair, and it is your opinion and your thoughts behind it, what your virtues or what you value behind it. But I would say, as a recommendation, check and see what your biases are and try to figure out why you have them. None of us are perfect. A lot of them do come down from one generation to the other. So we have inherited biases. We really have. But when you develop your own biases, think about who you're biased against and why you're biased against these particular group of people, I would just say, just check yourself, and it's okay to have them. Don't be so hard on yourself about it. You're not going to get over it overnight, because guess what? The world is full of biases. We live in a society that's full of bias, but what we're saying to you today is know yours, and then work on them if you have to, and just move forward in life. You two ladies have any closing statements before we end today?
No, ma'am. Have a great week.
Yes, just to chime in, Dr. Diamond, what you said, you can't let your biases really project on other people. Just because you feel one way doesn't mean it's factual, because biases can actually help other people. Hurt other people. So just be mindful of that.
Yes.
But I enjoyed you guys. I really enjoyed you guys today.
Me too.
Yes. And we have such great discussions. So I would like to say April 13th is next week. There's going to be a wellness fair. Those of you that live in New Jersey, the southern part of New Jersey, is going to be in Bordentown, 19th Park Street. We are going to have a wellness fair there starting from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. From around 6 o'clock, we will be having a Chinese auction on the wellness baskets that will be, you can get tickets for. Each ticket will be $10. It'll give you a chance to win 1 or 2 or 3 of those baskets, the wellness baskets that you could take with you and take care of yourself. And why are we talking about wellness? Because we are promoting taking care of yourself, mind, body, and spirit. So we would like for you all to come out, enjoy yourself. Again, it starts at 2 p.m. and you will get a chance to also meet us in person as well. Those of you that do come out, you'll get a chance to hang out with us that day. So we look forward to possibly seeing you all, but we will say this as well in parting. Have a wonderful week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the upcoming good weather, because we're supposed to be getting some decent weather coming up. But peace, love, and tranquility. This is what we believe. This is our motto. And remember to take care of yourself. And like Jerry Springer used to say, and take care of each other. Have a great week and enjoy yourselves. Ladies, love y'all. And y'all have a good one too. Take care.
You too.
Thank you for joining On the Couch this evening. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and if you want to contact Dr. Diamond, you may reach her at candidconversations.dr.d@gmail.com. Have a great evening, and we will see you on the next show.